Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my October wrap up and my November TBR. I decided to combine these into one video because it's easier for me to film it in one video and edit it and upload it today, the day I'm filming it, because that's when it needs to go up. Now if you did watch a previous video of mine, I set myself a little bit of a challenge for October where I read mostly thrillers or horrors, and in that video I mentioned that I used Goodreads, what other people had shelved the books I chose as. So each of those was set as either thriller or horror on the shelves on Goodreads. And I think I did mention that they were either the first or second genre would be considered in that video. So I'm going to go in the order that I read them. So I'm just going to jump straight in and I hope you enjoy it. The first book I read in October was Baby Doll by Hollie Overton. I believe I gave it 4 stars. It is about a girl who gets pretty much kidnapped and she's held hostage, but one day the person who took her, I guess, left the lock on the door unlocked and she realised, and it's basically about her escape and pretty much going through the process of identifying the man who took her and everything that happens with her family and things like that. I found it really quick and easy to read. I had never really read anything like this before, but I really enjoyed it and it's made me want to read more things like this. So overall I'd say this is a really good read. Then I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I listened to this as an audiobook and I did like a kind of read along thing with my friend Tanja. I will leave a link to her channel in the description box below. And we kind of discussed the book after we both finished it and it was really nice. I gave this 3 stars, but if you don't know what the story is about, it's about this guy who kind of has this like potion thing. I'm going to try and explain it the best I can, but basically a take on split personalities. Don't know, I'm not very good at describing things without spoiling everything, but I would have given it more stars if I enjoyed it a little bit more and followed the story a bit better. But I will do a full review on these books on my blog when it's set up. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. I did find it a little hard to follow, but I think that's just the writing. But I did listen to it as an audiobook instead. So that's that one. The next one I didn't quite finish in October. I finished it on the 1st of November. But I only had about an hour to 40 minutes left, so I'm classing it as October because it was only one day off. But that is Coraline. I gave Coraline 3 stars. It's nothing bad about it, but nothing really kind of blew my mind about it either. I listened to the audiobook and the audiobook was read by Neil Gaiman himself, which I really thoroughly enjoyed that. I love it when an author reads their own book. But if you don't know the story of Coraline, it's about a young girl who moves into like this, is it an apartment flat kind of thing, and there's a special door and it goes to another world kind of thing, and there she has an other mother and an other father, and it's basically, I don't know, the other mother and the other father want to sew black buttons onto her eyes, and she has to try and escape at some point. And you know, it's not a terrible read and it's not a terrible book. I very much did enjoy it. I just did not really get much out of it. The movie kind of freaks me out, but the book didn't really do anything for me. The 4th book is You by Caroline Kepnes. Boy oh boy. I had heard a lot of good things about this book. I kept seeing that, oh, the audiobook is really good and really creepy and all that stuff. So I kind of hyped it up in my mind a bit. And obviously I really want to watch the show. I'm still going to watch the show because Penn Badgley, but I could not read it, the physical copy, or listen to it as an audiobook. There was just something about the character Joe that I just did not like. I couldn't put up with hearing his voice, if that makes sense. It was just too much for me. Now I know not every book is for everyone, but the amount of people that I saw loved the book, I don't understand why. I get he's supposed to be creepy and he's a bit of a psycho, quite honestly, but I just could not get through it. I think I got to about 28% of the way through the audiobook and I had to just DNF it. So sadly I won't be going back to this one. So those are the books that I read in October. At the time of filming this video I have actually already conquered 2 books from my TBR for November. So I'm going to jump straight in with the November TBR part of this video. The first book that was on my TBR for the month of November is Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm not going to say too much because I will be doing a wrap up the end of the month, but also I'm going to be doing reviews on my blog anyway. My new favourite book, just saying. If you don't know what it's about, it's basically a fictional band come together to make music, and they basically talk about their lives while on the road and stuff, but obviously it's very far in the future after all that's happened. And it was such a lovely read and I cried. The next one, obviously, I finished yesterday. I should have filmed this sooner, really. But the second book on my November TBR was The City of Ember by Jeanna DuPrau. I think that's how you say it, I'm not too sure. At the point of filming this video right now, the video that I'm about to mention has not gone up yet. It will probably go up over the next few days. I mentioned this book in the Try a Chapter video, and such a good read. If you don't know what this is about, this is actually a part of a series, like a book series. However, I will only be reading this one book. But this book is about a girl and a guy named Lena and Dune. They basically live in a city called Ember, and all the lights are going out and they have blackouts that are longer than the last one. The generator is going downhill and they're running out of food, but they come across something, well, Lena finds something that helps with the situation a little bit, and it basically goes from there. It's a really good book. So yeah, that was that one with my very bad description. The next one on my TBR for November is The Diabolic. Again, I mentioned this one in my Try a Chapter video, and I really enjoyed the first chapter. I have started reading this one now. I am currently reading it. I am on page 25. See, I'm very excited to get further into this story. I don't really know too much about this one besides that a Diabolic is someone who is pretty much made to protect one sole person, and that's what she does. And the Diabolic's name is Nemesis, and she's protecting someone called Sidonia. It's pretty good. Again, really bad descriptions. I'm not very good at descriptions. And then the final book that's on my November TBR, I have also started but listening to it as an audiobook, and that is Anna Kendrick's Scrappy Little Nobody. I'm not like the massive fan of books that are like this, like autobiographies or biographies or some just things like that, but I really wanted to read Anna Kendrick's and Lily Collins' ones, and I only have this one. It's really good so far, and it's basically just a collection of stories, like essays and things that Anna has written for this. It's very interesting, and it's kind of funny as well. The audiobook is actually read by Anna herself, which again I love. So much nicer when the author reads it for the audiobook. So that is the final book on my TBR for the month of November. Now, I'm not limiting myself to those books as it's only the 6th of November. I have a whole month ahead of me to read, but they are the ones that I have picked to read, and then I will read whatever else I choose to read. Leave a comment below with what books are on your November TBR, and also let me know if you've read any of these books that I'm reading for November or have read for October, because I'd love to start like a little discussion about things like that. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time with another video. Bye guys!